Hi, I'm Sharon Bill. My lessons now move on to ABRSM Discovering Music Theory Grade 3, and do remember that these grades build accumulatively, and so this requires all of the knowledge from ABRSM Discovering Music Theory Grades 1 and 2 plus the new information now included in Grade 3. In Grade 3, we now move on to look at the topics of demi-semiquavers. We look at the upbeat or the anacrusis, a lead into a full bar. We look at duple, triple and quadruple time signatures, and we look at grouping notes and rests in all of these time signatures. We look at new compound time signatures. I explain how music now extends above and below the stave in both the treble clef and the bass clef, now extending to 3 ledger lines. And I also explain how to jump between those clefs and also how to transpose at an octave. In Grade 3, we now look at the major key signatures up to 4 sharps and 4 flats, and we also look at minor keys in those key signatures that will now include 4 sharps and 4 flats also. We also now look at the melodic minor scale in addition to the previously learned harmonic minor scale. In Grade 3, we also now look at intervals, and we describe these intervals more accurately, describing them as perfect, major or minor intervals. And we now look at the tonic triad in all of the new major and minor keys that we have learned so far. Of course, now we progress to the end of the book in the ABRSM Discovering Music Theory workbook. We now look at more musical terms and more performance directions, and then we get the opportunity in the music and context section to look at an extract of music, and we answer questions referring back to this little extract of music. And do bear in mind that this will now draw upon information learned in grades 1, 2 and grade 3. And of course, in the very end of this ABRSM Discovering Music Theory Grade 3 workbook, we now get the opportunity to take a practice exam paper, which will follow the exact format of the actual exam itself. All of the lessons can be found on my Patreon channel. If you visit patreon.com/Sharon Bill, you'll find everything you need to know right there, step by step, just as if I was sitting right next to you. You'll find the links to this in the cards and in the description box below. And after this little video, you'll see sample examples of these lessons to show you how I work with you through every single exercise. And once you feel that you are ready to take your ABRSM Music Theory exam, I have an exam technique guide, how to take your ABRSM Music Theory exam. It's full of tips and hints on how to best be prepared for your exam, and also how to make the very best use of your time on exam day. This book is available from Amazon in either digital format as an ebook or in paperback, and you'll find the links to this in the cards in the description box below. And also, all of the information that you would require can be found on my website. If you visit www.sharonbill.com, you'll find everything you need right there. Enjoy your studies. Bye. Basically, simple time, which is the time signatures that you've dealt with so far, is basically where everything divides by 2. And so you can see that we have a crotchet that divides into 2 quavers, or a quaver that divides into 2 semiquavers. And so these time signatures are in simple time. And then compound time is where everything divides by 3. For example, we have a dotted crotchet that divides into 3 quavers. So we now need to just count from this bass clef F, 1, 2, 3, 4. And that is a B, so it must therefore be B flat. We have to apply this from the key signature that would be, however we're using accidentals. And if you're not sure, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F. Of course, your key signature will be active. And then we would also have to bear in mind raising the 7th. However, here we're just dealing with 4ths, 5ths and octaves, and we can see that the 4th is indeed B, and that should be B flat. Now, is it true or is it false that all of the notes in the melody are in the key of A flat major? Well, let's think, what would we need to be looking for? A flat major, and this is where you need your key signatures, and so I suggest that each time you do a little test or exercise, you always write out your key signatures of your majors and related minor keys, and that way you've done the thinking all in one go, and then you haven't got to keep bringing it to mind, and it's also good revision every time to just quickly write your key signatures down. So A flat major has B flats, E flats, A flats, D flats. So is this true here? Well, we have the correct key signature, B, E, A, D flats, and then just glancing through, there's nothing else that's sort of not part of that. There's no unexplained extras, and so we can say, yep, definitely everything perfectly fits in with the key of A flat major. So that is true. We've got to show how this little group of notes should be properly beamed, how it should be grouped to reflect this time signature. Now, 6/8 is 2 groups of 3. So 6/8 is 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. It's duple time. There are 2 beats per bar, and each group is 3 quaver beats. And so we've got to properly show that. So we have 1, 2, 3. There's our first dotted crochet group, and then we have 1, 2, 3 quaver beats there. There's our second dotted crochet beat. So actually this first one is correct, isn't it? Let's look at why these aren't correct. Let's squeeze every drop of revision out of this. So we have group, we want 3 groups, so 1, 2. So actually that should be a quaver tied to a quaver, shouldn't it? Because we need 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3. We can't have that. That's grouped in simple time, not compound time. And then this looks like it should be correct because that's correct, but then this is just left on its own. That should be joined there, shouldn't it?